This episode is not sponsored, but we encourage you to help support the small businesses, charities, and organisations that we mention.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Our Circle. I'm Rhiannon.
And I'm Jess.
And today is an episode that I've wanted to talk about for a little while. If you have been paying attention to everything that's going on in the news at the moment, you've probably seen how the laws have been changed or are about to change in America regarding women's bodies and abortion laws. It's something that is quite triggering, I think, for most women anyway. And also, there was a news report, I guess, that came on the radio when I was at work the other day, and it kind of just filled me with so much anger that it just, all of these topics made me want to discuss this on here today. And the news report I heard was something along the lines of young girls are now going to be trained or taught how to deal with being bullied or like cyberbullied or harassed, like sexually harassed. And I just thought, I'm sorry, what? Like what are you talking about? Why are they being taught how to deal with the aftermath, not any
Like it
preventative
should be
coming?
the norm. Like you should be able to know how to cope with that.
This is going to happen to you. This is how you need to deal with it, as opposed to this shouldn't be happening to you. How can we help you? Like, how can we stop this? I just didn't understand what the fuck I was listening to. I thought this cannot be the way that they're reporting the news. This is ridiculous. And so while I was at work, I was like going off on one, and James, my friend, was going off on one as well, saying like, I can't believe that this is another report that we're hearing like this, the way that we're being told this narrative that women have to just basically accept their fate, sort of thing, and all this sort of stuff. And it got us into a conversation talking about the way that all the things that women go through. And I don't mean in a way like just in, all the different things that women go through, like, pregnancy, all this sort of stuff. I mean the really small, intricate things that a lot of women probably actually forget or don't even realize that they're doing, because it's been conditioned and deeply sort of enrooted in them that they no longer recognize it as something that's actually not the norm. And what I'm saying, basically what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of shit that women are taught from a very early age that men aren't. I started speaking about this with James, and I've had this discussion with so many people in my life before, but it's become a bit more apparent that there's a lot of things that we've gone through or that we're taught, and guys don't even have to second guess it. And that there's a lot of obvious ones, but there's some ones that even I didn't realize until I realized I was doing them. So for example, I was walking up the stairs thinking about the conversation I just had with James, and then I realized I was literally doing one of those things I've been taught, which is how to walk up the stairs. I was taught when I was younger how to walk upstairs to make sure that a man can't look up your skirt. How mad is that like you're taught these? And this is the other thing that I was thinking, is that we've been taught all the right things, but for the most stupid reason, for the reason that harm could come to us if we don't do these things. Like, how sucky is that? And I just wondered if there was any that stood out to you that you were taught.
I think when we spoke about this earlier, I thought, oh wow, you've grown up in a household with your brother and you, so you've definitely seen like those parallels, I imagine, in how a woman is raised and how a man is raised.
Right.
So I'm really interested later on when we get into yours. But one thing I think that really jumped out to me was the conversation around like appearing promiscuous on like depending on like what you're wearing. And like it's like saying, no, you shouldn't dress a certain way that you would like to because it will tempt a man. Rather than, I think this is one that probably one of the more obvious ones that a lot of girls can probably relate to. But it's like coming downstairs and like going out clubbing with your friends and my mum being like, you're not wearing that. And the reason why would be because you're attracting attention from males.
And even and not even just from your parents though. Movies show that.
Yeah, it's like the typical thing, isn't it? Like,
parents being
there's no way no daughter of mine's leaving the house looking like that. And the reason is because it's somehow people think that because of the way that you're dressed, you are asking for it. You're asking for sex, you're asking for the attention.
One, it's that, but it's also denying them the option to be sexual as well. Like, it's almost like saying, no, you're not allowed to be sexual. It's like, hang on, you are not allowed to tell me whether I can or can't.
It's like negative to be
Yeah.
sexual. It's seen as, like I said, the word promiscuous.
Yeah.
It's deemed like, oh, I've got Nelly Furtado playing in my head
Yeah.
now. But it's
like you're
just
some
like,
siren that can't like for you
this
wearing
temptress.
a temptress, as if you wearing this skirt, like, and a guy just has no control of himself.
Yeah, and that's your
As if
fault
that's my
because
problem.
you wore something. Yeah. It's things like that, and you're just like, "Oh, yeah," like, "Oh god, yeah, maybe I shouldn't show so much cleavage because everyone will think I'm a slag."
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned the word cleavage as well, actually, because I also think there is an element that comes from being bustier as well.
Yeah.
Like, you're instantly not allowed to wear certain clothes that maybe flat-chested or smaller chested women would wear, because you, like you said, again, it makes you seem promiscuous. It's like, no, I'm just wearing the same type of shirt or dress that my other friends are wearing. It's just, it happens to be a bit tighter on me.
Yeah, my body shape's different.
Yeah, body shapes are different. And I remember when I also worked at I think I told you about this, but it was years ago. I worked at this reception job, and I was just bent over to get something, and I don't know what she was technically to me. Like, she might have been, she wasn't my line manager or anything, but she was sort of above my line manager, I guess. So maybe, I don't know what the word was, but she came up to me, and she tried to like mum me. Like, she was sort of like, oh, Rhiannon, you might just want to put up your top a bit and maybe get something that's a bit more like, because, you know, when you bend down, like, people can see down your top. And it's just, I was like, in my head, I thought, why the fuck are you saying this to me? Like, as if I'm some thicko. Like, I'm a fully grown woman, for a start. Two, why did you look? Like, it's not like, it was literally, I just had to bend down for something. It's not like I was purpose, and also it wasn't a habit. I wasn't always bending down. It was literally the one time the one time I bent over and she'd happened to look and then look down my top, and I just thought, okay, this is a one-off for a start. Two, I'm aware of how to dress, thank you very much. But also, that was instantly her reinforcing that idea that it's my fault if someone can see me, if that makes sense. Like, that I
Yeah.
shouldn't be exposed, as if I was just walking around naked or something in the office. By
Yeah.
the way, I was fully clothed, fully dressed. Like, you know, it was just like this idea that my cleavage was somehow offensive.
Yeah.
I couldn't get
Yeah.
over that I'd been spoken to like that before, and I didn't
Yeah.
recognize it at the time. I was angry, but I couldn't work out why I was angry, and I was realizing it's literally just because they were taking my cleavage as offense.
Yeah. It's making me think as well, I always bring it back to this, but this is my life. Being a mum and breastfeeding as well, because boobs are so sexualized,
Yeah.
it's become offensive to get your boob out in public to feed your child. And that it's escalated to that point now that when you're doing such a basic, you're feeding your child, that is now
A
offensive to
natural
someone.
thing.
Yeah, that's a way to feed my child. Like, why is that sexual to you?
Yeah,
That's your problem.
there was a report also, again, that I can't remember if it was on the news or something, but I remember it being read at work, and I burst out laughing because a woman went up to another woman who was breastfeeding saying, can you not do that, because it's like, my husband can't stop looking. And she then sprayed her breast milk in the person's face. And I
Oh my
thought, good
God.
for you. Like, I just thought, how dare you shame
My
her
husband can't
for
stop
your own
looking.
husband's like lack of control.
Perverted
Yes.
behavior.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? Like, why take it out on someone who's completely innocent feeding their child?
Oh,
So stupid.
yeah.
Okay, so those are some other ones that I don't know if you were ever told this. So I was friends of, I mean, we've discussed, I've been friends with guys my whole life, but when it comes to sleepovers, I remember my mum telling me that I had to wear certain clothes. Like, if I was to ever sleep at a man's house, always make sure I'm either wearing like long pants or like a t-shirt sort of thing, like, not like vest tops and just
Oh.
like underwear and stuff, because again, it's, I guess, like, asking for it, you know. And it was
Yeah,
just
if
sort
you were
of
to wear
like,
shorts, well, that's an indication you want
yeah,
sex.
which is so mad, because when you think
Or for
about,
summer.
yeah,
What?
Gotta sweat through it, right? Like, I don't know. I just think it's so stupid when you think about how it's acceptable to wear a bikini at the beach, but it's not acceptable
Yeah.
to wear lack of clothing anywhere. I don't get it. I really don't. But yeah, so again, whenever I've stayed anywhere where there's a man or a male, I'm always making sure that I've covered up, which
Mm,
I mean, obviously, I'm glad that I've been taught these things because I'm assuming has protected me,
yeah.
But at the same time, it sort of sucks that I've been told that this is how I have to
I
conduct
think it's
myself.
yeah, I think it's because if it was your brother, for example, like your mum's not gonna say to him, "Oh, can you wear something like really loose or whatever so that this girl can't see the outline of your dick like in your clothing?" Do you know what I mean? Like
That
that's
would be
not
the funniest conversation to
it would just be
witness.
really odd. It wouldn't be said, but for some reason to us, it's
It's
like, "Oh, no, you can't wear something tight or like, slightly lower, like
Mm,
low neckline," whatever. It's just like it's that parallel. It's like that wouldn't be said to a male, so why are we having to take all these precautions and, like, having to think of all these, like, extra things? Like, it should be something fun, like, to go round to your friend for a sleepover, but you now have to think about your
hope he
lounge
doesn't
wear.
attack me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Hope he
how
doesn't
horrible is
pounce.
it?
I'm
Yeah.
so irresistible.
A huge obvious one that I know a lot of people are aware of is being like walking alone by yourself at nighttime. It's just a
Yeah.
big no-no as a woman. And it's not funny at all, but it kind of is when there's this trend going around on TikTok of women talking about big dog privilege, and it's basically women with massive scary dogs. If they've got those, they'll walk around at nighttime because they want to feel like that
Right.
sense of power or safety or like reassurance, like, no, I can do this, I can reclaim my own power and stuff. But again, they're only able to do it knowing that they've got massive fucking dogs next to them and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's true. I've been brought up, like, as I said, the way that my brother and I were raised in the same house, same, there's only a 2.5 year difference between us. He's my younger brother, but we were taught different things when it comes to leaving the house. Like, he has always been taught that, he keeps his phone on if I'm out, because if I need to call him to be met, like to come and meet me somewhere and walk me home, he does that. And again, I'm so grateful that he's been taught the right things, but again, for the most stupid reason, the stupid reason that
Mm,
the outside world doesn't want to protect me, it wants to hurt me, sort of thing. And so he's had that lesson be given to him, but then he doesn't think twice about when he leaves the house, whereas before
yeah.
I leave the house,
Tough.
I'm
Mm,
thinking of all the, and it almost comes like a checklist. I don't know if that's the same for you. And it's the quickest checklist ever, but it's still nonetheless there. Like, have I got my keys? Are they in my pocket? So if I need them, I've got like a sort of weapon, Have I got everything that, and who's outside? Do I need to double check if there's anyone dodgy before I actually leave my house? Do I want them to see me leaving my house because then they know where
mm,
I live? All these things that fortunately guys don't have to think about, but unfortunately we do. And I just feel like the list keeps going on and on. I've literally written a list of all the things,
mm,
and it just seems ridiculous, really. But I remember one of the things that James and I spoke about is he didn't realize that, when people say, "Oh, text me when you get home," he
mm.
just thought that that was like a nice thing that people did. Like, or that because he said he's had a lot of female friends, and he just thought, oh, it's just like a girl's thing to just say, text me when you're home, like they're just being nice. He didn't
Mm.
realize it was a safety element. Like, no, let me know you got home.
Yeah, got home safe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. And when you were talking about like that sort of checklist when you're leaving the house and everything, it made me think as well. I don't know about you, but I feel like it used to be like getting a cab home was supposed to be like the safest option. Whereas now I don't actually know what the safest option is to get home. Like whether it's better to be on public transport where there's more people to get home, or I don't think I even feel safe in an Uber anymore.
No,
Like I
do you
just
know
feel
what?
like
I think there's a safety element to every damn thing. So I even wrote this down. I said, so like you said with the cab, the rule is you stay on the phone the whole time, or at least
yeah,
for
you
me,
share
like,
your locate, you
share
share
your
you share the
yeah,
ride with at least I share it with 2 people.
yeah. I always share it with like the person who I've just left their house.
Yeah, and like
the
my
person who
mum.
I'm going to, and then usually a parent as well.
Yeah.
Or just stick it on the girls' group chat, like just FYI in a cab sort of thing. And it makes me feel better as well when, like, say if you were doing that, if you just suddenly sent me a message saying with that, I suddenly feel better because I'm like, okay, cool, I'm another person who knows where you are, sort of thing. Like, it's just that sort
Can
of,
track it.
yeah, exactly. But then when you're getting on public transport, the rule is stay in a place where the bus driver can see you, where you're close enough to like a door if you need to get out, but like not so that people can necessarily sit behind you, sort of thing. And
Mm,
make sure that someone's meeting you at the other end, or that you stay on the phone as soon as you get off, that you're
mm,
on the phone to someone until you reach your destination.
yeah.
Sucks. Like it's just ridiculous. And then if you're just walking, the rule is stay on the main roads. It's always stay on the main roads, avoid alleyways, and avoid what they call like small roads, I guess. Like,
Yeah. It's funny because this is making me think like how only a few months ago I think I went out with some friends or whatever, and I was making my own way back, and I called Joe when I got off the bus, like the usual routine, like you're on your own, I'm gonna call someone.
mm,
And he'd fallen asleep, and it just made me feel so scared. I
that
was like,
panic is
"Oh my
horrible.
God," that panic, and also, like,
So you're like, this is the
the thing
moment.
is
This is the
he
moment it's
didn't
going to
get it.
happen.
Yeah, and I was like, "This is it." Yeah, I tried to stay, like, in the street lamp, like, well-lit areas, all of that, but he doesn't get it, like, he does now, we've spoken about it, but he didn't get it, he was like, "So?" Like, I just didn't I fell asleep, I was tired, and, like, I just thought you'd be home, like, soon, like, it doesn't matter. And it's like, well, it does because I think at the time as well, there was, all the attacks,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
were in the news and things. So even more so, I was like, I really don't feel safe. And I do have these, like, heightened fears of something happening to me at night.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, sort of highlighting how men don't even have to think about that. Like, for
Yeah.
Joe, it's like, what is the cheapest way to get home? It doesn't matter, like, what time,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am,
Yeah.
how long it's gonna take, any of that.
Yep.
Whereas for us, it's kind of like, right, quickest, safest way to
Safest.
get that. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. I love that yours is like quickest first still.
quickest, yeah.
No, it's so true. And
But my dad also would always say, "Get a cab home, I'll pay for it, it doesn't matter, as long as
that's
you
what my
get back."
parents say. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'll pay for it or reimburse you." I think he even had, like, an Uber account for my sister to use,
Oh
like,
wow, that's
whenever,
nice.
like, she went out, like, just in case for
Yeah.
emergencies. I
Yeah.
was like, "I wish that was around when I was."
But
Mm,
yeah, no, you're right. And literally the words that you said about Joe, he's not had to think about it. That was a conversation I had with my dad literally a couple of weeks ago. We were in the car and it was kind of early in the morning. He's like, God, there's so many women like running around. I said, well, why do you think that is? He went, what do you mean? I said, it's, well, they're not going to do. Oh, he goes, you don't really see them doing it at night time. I went, yeah, why do you think they can't? And he goes, oh, I didn't think of that. And I said, yeah, because you don't have to. And it was just
mm,
such a like, wow, they really don't have to think about these things.
yeah,
And I don't know about you, but I feel like I have an inner monologue when I'm by myself walking alone, because it's that sort of trying to talk yourself through things. And
mm,
I feel like it's constant analyzing when you're outside. Like like the with the what's it called, the theory test for driving, how there's hazard perception. I
right,
reckon
how many
women
points
ace
you've got.
that, but
Yeah,
at the same time they don't ace it because they're probably thinking of different hazards. It's not like a hazard just for like danger of a car. It's like, no, that person could be a like hazard,
yeah,
and I feel like it's almost like my own version of a hazard perception every time I step out of the house.
right,
So it's almost like, okay, is that safe? Is that person safe? Should I maybe cross over to, like, I've had that plenty of times where someone's made me feel unsafe, and so I've either stopped to fake tie my shoe, there's no laces on my shoe. I have crossed over the road, I will fake a conversation on the phone. I'll keep saying where I am as well on the phone. Like if I'm pretending I'm on the phone, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm literally just 2 minutes down the road. Oh, I'm on that road, blah blah blah, to make it seem like,
right,
that you can't come and get me because they know exactly where I was, sort of thing.
yeah,
And some of the other things that I was taught was through when I did a self-defense. I used to do self-defense classes at my university because I wanted to feel less anxious, and I thought maybe learning how to defend myself would take some of that power, like I could reclaim it. And it was great, but at the same time it also instilled more fear and almost more things to add to the checklist, one of those being keep your nails long. That I remember being told that, and I thought, okay, that's helpful, but that really upsets me now, that the reason that I want long nails isn't because I want to feel pretty or anything like that. It's literally because they said,
So I
one,
can gouge someone's eyes out.
one, it's a weapon, but two, you can keep DNA under your fingernails.
Oh
So
my
you're able to give
God.
that to the police. And I was just like, well, fuck. Like, okay, thank you for that.
Wow, that's giving like manicure like a whole new reason to get
I
it
know, I know.
used.
And it's just, it's a lot, I think. And I remember a friend telling me that her and her parents always had code words. So if she felt like she was unsafe, if she was sleeping over at a friend's house or whatever, she would call her parents and she would say the code word, and they knew instantly, I'm coming to pick you up, sort of thing. And I think that
Right.
that's one, I think that's a great thing to have anyway for kids and friends as well, because I think that's also something that's used in bars now. Code words
Right,
are
yeah.
left on the back of bathroom doors that you can give to the bar staff, and they know
Bartender,
that you're
yeah.
in trouble, or you're unsafe and stuff. And I think that's great that those sorts of things are in place. I just hate that they are in place for the reason that they're there, you know.
Mm.
It's just mad. Also, I really hope I'm not triggering anyone here and like thinking of like making them think, oh shit, I'm not doing this, I need to think of this more. My purpose of this isn't to make you feel fear, because I'm sure you feel it anyway, but it's just to, one is a wake up maybe to guys, like the shit that you put us through, or that, or just that we go through, and that maybe you should be mindful of for your partners, for your sisters, whoever, whatever women are in your life, to make it easier for them.
Yeah, be that little things like just saying like I've got my phone on loud next to me. If you want to call me, please let me know. Or just saying like, oh, please share your journey with me on your way in the cab on the way home, or just letting them know that your presence there.
Yeah,
Like, so you're there if they need help or if they don't feel safe.
absolutely. I just don't think it's I don't think it's too much to ask just to keep someone safe, or just to speak to them to make them feel safe at all. I don't know about this one as well for you, but the one that I was going to mention was not using your name in public. I don't like my I don't like my, well, anyone really yelling my name out in public. I don't want my name known.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
especially if I'm, so my mum's done this a couple of times, and or no, actually I tell her, like, she did it once, and the second she did it, as soon as she came to the house, said, please don't ever do that again. I explained, and I didn't even explain, I told her what she did, and she instantly realized what she did. She had cycled past the house. I had the door open because a delivery guy was there. I would never tell a delivery guy my name. That sounds weird because obviously he's delivering something, so you would assume that he has my name. But I don't think that was what this was. I can't remember. Maybe it was for my dad or something. I answered the door, and she was cycling past, and she was just she needed me to open the back door or something, but she yelled my name, and I instantly felt unsafe because I thought, this guy now knows where I live and my name. That doesn't make me feel
Right.
safe. So when she came, I said, please don't ever say my name in public. Like, if people then, when I said that, she instantly knew what I was referring to. She's like, I'm really sorry, sort of thing. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, just don't do it again.
Right.
And I just, again, I just think it's sad. I think it's sad that these fears and rules and checklists that we have in place are all based on something that shouldn't even be something we have to consider, and it's something that no other guy goes through either.
Yeah. And like it's so infuriating, like you said, hearing that radio chat that was going on that you were listening to, where it was basically adding to our checklist and taking off any sort of thing that a guy would have to think about. It's like, no,
Yeah, taking off their
that's,
responsibility.
yeah, so shifting that responsibility onto the women again. It's just infuriating, really
So
infuriating.
infuriating. And I think, especially when it comes to all of like the sexualization and just sex in general, that was something that you and I spoke about before this. We were saying how even talking about sex
Yeah,
has been such a like no for women, almost as if you're not allowed to partake in sex. And I just think that that's ridiculous. And I really, this is it's actually another topic I've always wanted to talk about on the episode, is talking about women who talk about sex so openly, whether they're sexologists or rappers. I love that they're doing it because they encourage women to just say the word pussy. They encourage girls to just talk about what they want, what they like. And
Yeah.
I'm really all for it. And last night I was watching Meg the Stallion at Glastonbury, and she's always someone who's so vocal about political things, especially when it comes to women. And she was just like saying, my body, my motherfucking choice, and made the whole crowd say it over and over again. And I was just like, I fucking love this. And again, it tying to everything that's happening in the States. And what's happening in the States isn't just happening there. That's happened in many, many countries. It exists in many countries where abortion is not legal, that women do not have rights over their own body, and it's just not fucking okay. It's just not okay, and we're not in support of that at all. We absolutely stand for women, for their own rights, their rights to choose what they do with their body, from sex to babies, no babies, whatever they want. We support women and their rights. So I want to dedicate this episode to several things. I want to shed some light on an account that I think is really helpful. They are called So Informed. You can find them on Instagram. They sort of simplify issues that are happening in the world in mostly real time as well. They're very current. I don't know what kind of team they got, but they're brilliant, who are really on it. They give you the information, they give you the facts, and it's not bias. It's literally how it is. It explains everything in situations, and it's not just things in America, and it's not just things on women's rights or abortion bans. It's a lot of different topics, and I think it's really worth something to have light shed on and people to view it. It's often shared around anyway when people are resharing things on their stories, but I think if you're wanting to find out more information about anything, they're a great place to start, and a great place to find more resources as well. And then the other thing I want to share is Bands Off Our Bodies, which is a website, and you're probably seeing a lot of it online at the moment. They're sort of partnered with the Women's March, Liberate Abortion, Planned Parenthood. I know that we are based in the UK, but I think showing solidarity with anyone across the world. I mean, this isn't the first international company that we've supported, so I would really recommend checking them out for a start, and then learning more. They've got more about the laws that are taking place and how you can help. And I think just sharing information in general, whether you're in the States or not, someone else from your friend group will see it, they might share it, and so on and so forth. It spreads information and knowledge, and that's basically what is really needed in this whole issue here, is education about birth control and abortion pills, all of those sorts of things. So education is key here, always and forever will be. So please check out those two sites and accounts. I will put everything on the screen now, and the links will be in our description as well. Well, thank you for listening to us rant. I think it was mostly me ranting. But I hope that it's given you something to think about. If you're a guy, please be considerate of the women in your life and their safety. And women, please make sure that you feel like you're in control of you, like you have the power within you, and just be safe as always. We all know that, but please don't make this life be dictated by arseholes.
And please share with us if you can think of any more things that you feel like you were kind of conditioned to think about growing up, because it is really interesting because I think it's also important to think about these things to try and maybe even uncondition ourselves in a way, and just be more aware of what we're doing and the reason behind what we're doing, and fundamentally sort of thinking about the source of it and what needs to be changed.
Yes, so wear those fucking tight tops.
Yes, wear those low cut tight tops, those tight shorts that show the bottom of your ass cheeks. Just do it.
Talk about sex. Do what you want to feel liberated, and don't feel like you were dictated by a dick. We will not be dictated by dicks. No, thank you.
Dictated.
Anyway, thank you for listening. Stream on all of our platforms and follow all our socials, and we'll see you for our next episode. Bye.
Bye.